Have you questioned why traveling from one African country to another by air is quite expensive, while traveling from Africa to Europe, Asia, or America is relatively cheaper? Even domestic flights charge ridiculous prices to transport you from one city to another within the same country. I will tell you why that is at the end of the video. Please subscribe to the channel and like this video. On the Kenya Airways website, a one-way ticket from Nairobi, Kenya to Lagos, Nigeria costs 87,090 shillings, equivalent to 673.08 US dollars. A non-stop flight between these two cities takes about 5 hours and 15 minutes. Now, let us compare that to a non-stop flight between Nairobi, Kenya to Paris, France. Kenya Airways offers a direct flight between these two cities, and on average, a one-way air ticket costs about 651 US dollars. Traveling between these two cities takes about 8 hours and 40 minutes. From that example alone, you can see that flying within Africa is more costly than flying to some countries outside Africa. Why is that the case? Let's begin with taxes. The taxes charged on an African air ticket amount to 62 US dollars. In contrast, a Middle East air ticket accrues 29.65 US dollars in taxes, while in Europe, it accrues 30.23 US dollars. These taxes are imposed by governments of African states as protectionist policies aimed at favoring local airlines. With such rules in place, a foreign airline seeking to operate in a specific African country will be forced to pay higher taxes than the local airlines. For instance, a Kenyan airline pays around 6 US dollars to fly to any airport within Kenya. However, if a Kenyan airline wants to operate in its neighboring country, Uganda, it will pay 110 US dollars. The margin is quite big, and airlines must find a way to close it. What is the solution? Charge passengers more for an air ticket. This contributes to high ticket prices. There is also the aspect of fuel. Africa's refining capacity is low. They do not refine aviation fuel. Instead, aviation players within the continent export it from nations that have the refining capacity. Hence, the fuel price is about 30% higher in Africa. The commercial airline industry is a business that will not want to operate at a loss. Therefore, if they buy aviation fuel expensively, they will increase the air ticket prices to help them offset the high fuel costs. Closed airspaces is also a factor to blame. African countries tend to close their airspaces more than America, Asia, and Europe. Let me use Europe as an example. In case you intend to travel from Paris, France to Frankfurt, Germany using Air France, you have 5 daily flights to choose from. This is because of their open airspace policy, which allows airlines to fly as many flights to another country as they want. On the other hand, if you want to fly to Uganda from Kenya using Kenya Airways, you only have 2 flights to choose from. Now, Ugandan Airlines also offers its services on the route. To compete against the Kenyan carrier, they increase taxes so that the Kenyan carrier can only operate 2 flights. This is a trend across most African countries. This also contributes to higher fares to offset the high taxes. These are some of the reasons why traveling within Africa is quite expensive. If I have left out a point, feel free to share it in the comment section below. Like this video and share it. Also, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.